Hi friends, Quill here. Welcome back to the channel and some more Pokemon Sword and Shield news. If you're enjoying Pokemon Sword and Shield news and want to see more of it, make sure you hit that like button down below, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the action coming forward. For those of you who don't know, although it's not going to be relevant much longer, we don't cover rumors on the channel, things that aren't necessarily confirmed. If you missed the video on Monday, then make sure to go back and watch that. I went through my Dexit predictions that I made previously. The entire Pokedex did leak, and it is confirmed just because of a number of different things that made it more plausible. Also, it's been further confirmed by the fact that GameFreak has been going down and taking down a bunch of this content that's involved these leaks, be it from Twitter or YouTube or a number of different places. They've started taking down these bits of content that show pictures of the leak. So because I don't want my channel to get taken down or copyright stricken or whatever else, I'm not doing a video on the new Pokemon of the Galar region until after the games come out, so be looking for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video, because I'm going to give all of my opinions on all of the Pokemon that are new to the Galar region. And actually, I had a video coming out discussing this all in a longer format, but just as I was starting to edit that video, this video came out from the Pokemon channel telling us about new items and features in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So we're going to watch that together right now. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and press the play button. Okay, there's Poltegeist. Okay. Improved techniques for Pokemon training. Okay, this is really interesting. Mints will change the effects of a Pokemon's nature. Okay. Okay. So Pikachu was changed to the modest nature. That's huge. Supplements to max out base points. Okay, that's something that we've had in the past. Okay. Oh, you can use several of them at a time. That's super nice. Super nice. Okay. So there it was. Okay, so we raised it by 30. That's nice. That's more than before, isn't it? Pokemon of the same species can pass moves to each other. That's interesting. Sorry. I'm watching. Wait, I'm gonna back up really fast. Wish, Charm, Yawn. Okay. Access Pokemon boxes from almost anywhere. Oh, that's so good. So you can access your boxes anywhere in the region that you are. That's super nice. So then you don't have to run back to a level up using experience candies. So they're like rare candies, you know. Okay. 30,000 experience. That's going to be so much easier to get Pokemon to level 100. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, a while back we did hear from, I think it was Game Informer. Yes, it was from Game Informer that you would be able to change the natures of some of your Pokemon, but now we are getting official confirmation of that by the use of mints. Now, in Generation 7, they introduced bottle caps, which let you alter the IVs of your Pokemon. For those of you who don't know, IVs are called individual values. They are ingrained in the Pokemon when they are hatched from an egg, or actually before the egg is hatched. They basically predetermine how well your Pokemon is going to be able to be, or to battle. And so here, let's see. So the thing that makes me the most excited, I think, is that this person has several of these things, which means they might be easier to come by than bottle caps. Bottle caps are so difficult to find in Pokemon Sun and Moon that there's almost no point in going after them. Here, it looks like these different mints are going to be a lot easier to come by. At least that's what it looks like from here. That could obviously be wrong, but I definitely am super excited if you're able to change natures more easily. Something else I wanted to point out here was the Dynamax level. I don't know what that's about. Are we going to be able to level up the Dynamax of the Pokemon that we use? Are we going to have to fill up this gauge, this Dynamax level, in order to Dynamax? Can we only do it so often? I think that would be a good way of controlling Dynamaxing Pokemon. However, being that it only lasts 3 turns already, I think that would be a little bit of an unnecessary control. Maybe only Pokemon that fill this gauge completely are able to Dynamax. That would also be interesting. So that you're not able to Dynamax your Pokemon right off the bat. That would be another way to look at it. I guess time will have to tell, but that Dynamax level is very interesting to me. We're going to continue watching really fast. Alright, and then we come to here where where we're looking at things like the HP up, the protein, the iron, the carbos, the calcium, the zinc. Right, so IVs that we talked a little bit ago, individual values, cannot be changed. EVs stand for effort values, and you get effort values by beating certain Pokemon. Things like Pikachu, who is a really fast Pokemon, give EVs in speed. Things like Chansey give EVs in HP. And by beating a bunch of Chanseys, for example, you could raise your HP by up to 63 points on a level 100 Pokemon, which is pretty significant. There exist items in the game that are shown on screen right now, like the HP up, the protein, the iron, carbos, calcium, which can boost your EVs, but in past generations there has been a limit to the number of these items that you can use on a single Pokemon. Here it's saying use supplements to max out the Pokemon's base points. Does that insinuate then that you can use an unlimited amount of irons and proteins and carboses? Additionally, in past generations, you had a maximum number of 508 EVs. Once a Pokemon had 508 EVs, no matter how they were distributed, they could not earn any more. This could also be insinuating that you can have more than 508 EVs now. In fact, that you could have 252 in every stat, which would be terribly broken, and I'm not looking forward to it if that's the case. Part of what makes the competitive scene so diverse and unpredictable is the fact that you can run different EV sets, and if you could just max out every stat, then everyone would max out every stat, and that would be the end of it. Then there's something else that I want to point out, and they are using 26 calciums on their Gengar, and that is raising their special attack, you can see, from 140 to 170, which is 30. I don't know if that means that 26 of one of those stat boosting items is going to get you 30 extra points in a stat. I think that is different than before. I'm not quite sure though. Hi friends, I am actually editing currently and came back to look at Bulbapedia. This is specifically for Carbos, but it's the same throughout all of these vitamins. Here it says that in past generations, if you used a Carbos on a Pokemon, it would add 10 speed EVs to the target until you reach 100 speed EVs. We saw in the video that 26 were used, so that's 260 EVs that were added. So basically you are able to max out your Pokemon's EVs using only vitamins in this game. We'll see how useful that actually is, though. I did want to clarify, though, how that's different from past generations. You used to only be able to use 10 of these vitamins on any given Pokemon. Now you can use as many as you want. Oh, this next part makes more sense now. Okay. So what this is saying is that if you put two Pokemon in the daycare, in the past, they wouldn't change their movesets at all. But now it looks like if you leave two Pokemon of opposite gender, you can see over here, but the same species in the daycare, if one of them has open slots in their moveset, then it'll learn the moves that the other Pokemon has there. So if we see here, this Sylveon only has Moonblast in its moveset, but this Sylveon down here has Wish, Charm, and Yawn, as well as Draining Kiss, but that doesn't get passed over. So the second, third, and fourth slots will be passed to this first Sylveon, which is super amazing. It'd be a good way to get rarer moves on competitively viable Pokemon. That's great. And then we've already talked about being able to access your boxes from anywhere. That's humongous, wonderful. Experience candies. So I'm seeing over here once again, this trainer has a lot of these. Up here we see the classic rare candy, and 11 seems to be a really high number. I wonder if rare candies are going to be more readily available in these games, but then we have these experienced candy. For those of you who don't know, rare candy, all it does is it raises your level up by 1 and starts you out of that new level fresh. If you give a level 22 Pokemon a rare candy, it will be leveled up to level 23, regardless of how much experience it has beforehand. So even if you're 1 experience point away from level 23, if you use a rare candy on a level 22 Pokemon, it will go up to level 23 with 0 experience. So it's a way to waste experience, essentially. These experience candies look like ways to add experience, and that way you don't lose experience that you've already earned. Again, it looks like this particular trainer has a lot of these items, so I'm hoping that they'll be readily available in the wild, or at least easily obtained. That has humongous implications for the competitive scene. And here we see the extra large experience candy. If you use it on your Zweilous, just one of them gives 30,000 experience. Now, most Pokemon, not all Pokemon, there are different rates, and I could go into that, but most Pokemon reach level 100 at 1 million experience. So 30,000 is actually pretty good. That would mean that you only need to use 33 experience candies on your Pokemon to level it up to level 100. Now, Zweilous would take a little bit longer because it's in a different group, and again, I'll talk about that at a later date if it's necessary. But I know that when I raised my shiny Drillbur up to level 100, it took 1 million experience, and I definitely went through the Elite Four of Pokemon Sun and Moon more than 33 times. So this is going to be huge in saving time for competitive Pokemon. Once again, raising Pokemon up to level 100 allows you to use bottle caps on them to change their IVs. So if you've got bad IVs on a shiny Pokemon, which is the case for me, I was able to get my Drillbur up to level 100, use bottle caps on it, and then that raised its IVs, which were bad, up to a competitive level. And that brings me to another point that I want to bring up before I end off the video, and it is that mints can be used on Pokemon even if they're not level 100. So bottle caps you used to have to grind all the way up to level 100 to use them. It appears here that you don't have to be level 100 to use these mints. So these are really, really good items. They're going to make competitive battling so much more accessible to so many more people, and I'm excited about it. So just to give my final thoughts, I definitely think that these are good moves for competitive Pokemon. I think being able to change your Pokemon's nature, as well as give it items that can boost its experience, and also transfer moves from one Pokemon of the same species to another, all are huge, 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 huge advantages that we're going to be having as players to get involved in the competitive scene. And as someone who battles competitively, and as someone who plans on uploading those competitive battles to the internet, having more people competitively battling is always a good thing. I'm super excited for these games, and although the Pokedex and the Pokemon included in it are disappointingly low, I think the new features are going to be so awesome, and I think that the metagame is going to change entirely. But getting into competitive battling is going to be so much more accessible, and I'm excited for it. So let me know what you think down below about this little trailer. Let me know, do you plan on getting into competitive battling if you haven't already? And if you have, let me know what you think about these new changes. Do you think making it easier is a good thing like I do, or do you think maybe the hard work that goes into preparing a team is necessary and that this cheapens it? I can see that side of it also. Also, if you plan on getting into competitive battling, definitely send me a message on Instagram. I am looking for people to battle once these games come out. I want to upload 1 or 2 battles a week, so let me know if that's something that interests you either down in the comments or on my Instagram. Again, that's at QwilPlays. But that will do it for this episode, my friends, so thanks so much for watching, and as always, see you next time.